Good morning and welcome to the Holy Trinity Church in Penn. Right, today is part one of a two-part video. We are here today to see David Blakely, who was the victim of Ruth Ellis. And obviously the part two, we'll be going to see the final resting place of Ruth Ellis. But today we're here to concentrate on David Blakely. So I shall have a little flick around the churchyard while I tell you a little bit about David Blakely.
Born in Sheffield, Yorkshire in 1929, David Blakely was one of the four children of John Blakely, a Scottish physician and surgeon, and his Irish wife Annie from Ballynahinch. He had two brothers, Derek Andrew Gustav and John Brian, and a sister Maureen. His parents divorced in 1940, and when his mother remarried he became the stepson of Sir Humphrey Wyndham Cook, co-founder with Raymond Mays and Peter Burton of the ERA established in Bourne, Lincolnshire in November 1933. After his national service in the Highland Light Infantry, David Blakely started his career as a keen race car driver. He competed with a measure of success in the early 1950s, driving a HRG sports car and then a Leonard MG. In 1954 he decided to put everything he had into the construction of a new car, the HRG Emperor. Fitted with a twin-cam 1.5 litre Singer engine, it was built for Blakely by a former Aston Martin engineer, Anthony "Ant" Findlater, who designed it with a tubular chrome steel chassis, Volkswagen front suspension, a Dion rear end and a full-width aluminium body somewhat reminiscent of a Ferrari Monza. Blakely had his debut at the wheel of the new car at the 1954 Boxing Day meeting at Brands Hatch, finishing a fine second to John Coombs in a Lotus Mark 8 Connaught. Due to its strong first start, the HRG Emperor and its driver received a great deal of attention by the British press. In 1955, Blakely, with Ant Findlater, worked on the car to prepare it for the next season, even planning to put it into limited production. Mostly known for his racing and his playboy lifestyle, Blakely was also hired by Bristol Motors to drive one of the two factory Bristol 450 sports cars entered into the 24-hour Le Mans scheduled to be contested in June of that year. But before the opening event of the season, David Blakely was dead. He was the victim in an infamous murder case in Britain when he was shot and murdered outside the Magdala pub in Hampstead, London on Easter Sunday 1955 by a woman called Ruth Ellis, 28-year-old model, former manageress of the Little Club nightclub in Knightsbridge. The couple became engaged since almost 2 years and their relationship had ended just a few days earlier. She shot him because of jealousy. Reportedly, a breakdown by Blakely's racing car determined the time and place of the murder. He had entered the HRG Emperor in the Gold Cup sports car race, scheduled to be contested at Aintree on the Easter weekend. But a mechanical problem forced him to stay in London, where a vengeful Ruth Ellis tracked him down. David Blakely was 25 years old at the time of his death. Following a trial that lasted less than 2 days, Ruth Ellis was found guilty and sentenced to death. She later became the 15th woman in the 20th century and the last to be hanged in Britain. Two of David Blakely's Bristol Motor teammates that season were also killed in 1955. Mike Keane lost his life in the Goodwood 9-hour race in August of that year, and less than a month later also Jim Myers was killed during the Ulster TT at Dundrod, Northern Ireland.
Right, well that's all the information I could get on David Blakely. He's buried just over here next to his brother, who during the Second World War flew torpedo bombers, probably set on ferried swordfish I think they're called, like the old biplanes that used to take off from aircraft carriers. He also had another brother who flew for the RAF during the Second World War and won the BSc. But his headstone is right in front of me. It's got the Highlands Regiment or whatever battalion he used to fight for. I can't remember which one it was. So I shall spin you around and we'll go and have a look at it together. We'll start off with his brother. Yeah. John Brian Blakely, 1920 to 1963. His memory shall live forever. Right next to John, sorry, this is the one we've come to see. David Moffat Drummond Blakely, 1929 to 1955. He was great of heart, courtly and courageous. And right behind them, if we go over here, Anne Beattie Cook, this is his mother, 1893 to 19 something 5, can't work out what that is, and her husband Humphrey Wyndham Cook, 1893 to 1918. Oh, it's 1915, I think. He can't be 1915, he was born later than that. But that's his mother and stepfather. But this is the important one. David Moffat Drummond Blakely. A very sad ending. I think he was shot 4 times. But that is his final resting place. Well, I know the ashes of his nanny are in here as well somewhere, but I'm not going to go looking for those. We've seen his immediate family. But anyway, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget there will be a part 2 where I'll do the visit the final resting place of Ruth Ellis. But if you did enjoy this video, then please leave me a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Well, thank you also very much for watching. I'll see you again on the next one. So bye bye for now.